Hello and welcome to another episode of the How Are We Famalam podcast. Every time, me and my co-host John May.
How are we?
How are we Famalam, and our very special guest today was Sean Clare.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me on, guys.
Thanks for coming, Sean.
Yes, so Sean, me and you met a few years ago, and when I met you, I thought this guy is very inspirational, and you picked me up from the airport, didn't you? We didn't know each other, and we got in the car together.
Where were we, Jazz?
It was in Sports Adventure, weren't it? Yeah. When I thought we'd arrived in Lanzarote.
I've just heard this story. Will you tell us the story, please?
So I'll tell it. So we've arrived to pick Jazz up by the airport, and he's come in the car. He said, "Yeah, I've never been Lanzarote before." And I've looked at him. I went, "Well, you've still never been because we're in Fort Ventura." You come over to Spa, and then that's it. We just got on from there, didn't we?
Yeah,
really?
yeah. We hit it off, didn't we? Right away. You told me a bit about yourself, didn't you?
Yeah.
And what you do. So, let us know.
What I do. So
what you do for a living.
So obviously, I don't know. Is the cameras in there? Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm a dwarf. If you can't tell.
Can't tell by your voice.
You can't tell by my voice. If you can't tell by my voice, I'm a dwarf. So I'm a dwarf athlete. So I'm 27 now. Been involved in disability sport since I've been about 12 years old. So I used to do athletics. I made it onto the GB team when I was like 15. I missed my prom to go to the World Junior Championships in Switzerland.
Doing
shot and discus I did.
Yep. And
I got a junior world record when I was 15. I just kicked on. Yeah, just kicked on from there then.
You mentioned you missed your prom. Is that?
Yeah. So it's called prom over here. It's called prom, innit?
It sounds like it was a big deal to you missing your prom.
No, it wasn't at the time, but now looking back in it, do you know what I mean? Like,
was there like a girl just waiting there crying?
Probably, yeah. I probably let a lot of girls down that night.
So, how did you get? What was it like growing up for you? And where do you come from?
So I'm from Widnes. It was all right. To be fair, I had quite a good childhood, to be honest with you. I've got an older sister, and nobody else in my family has dwarfism. So we've all sort of like learned on the job. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, it was all right. I had a good group of mates. I was quite fortunate, really. Like I grew up from infant school to like high school. I grew up with like the same sort of lads and that, so they always sort of had me back in that. Obviously, I've had I've never said I got bullied, but I've had the occasional trouble, like because of my size and stuff like that. But I was always all right, to be fair.
So you're quite protected in school? Cause
yeah. My sister was 2 years old as well, so she was quite popular in school. So all the lads that were hard in year 11, like you looked out for me, and that. I thought I was cock of the school, to be honest with you.
You're quite lucky to have that, I think.
No, yeah, and like obviously I grew up with like a lot of other dwarfs and that, because there's a lot of charities for dwarfism. And I've seen other people get bullied and struggle to go to school and stuff like that. And I feel like quite lucky. But also I can't relate to him. I can't talk to him because I've never experienced that either. I never really got bullied.
Yeah, I suppose you got the gift of the gab as well, haven't you? Maybe we all have our own ways of getting by, and you've got a great personality, haven't you, and a sense of humour. Oh,
well, I was quite cocky in school, to be fair. Like, I thought I was like, I'm untouchable.
You can't hit me.
Yeah, people like, fucking, he's a dickhead.
Get away with me, is it?
I know, yeah.
So people like look on this now saying, there's that bully from our school.
Yeah, and I was like, who is it, that 3 foot lad over there? But I had a lot of surgery though growing up, so I think I'm 27 now. I think I've had over 20 surgeries in my life. So, like, that was the hardest part, like, in school, and I missed a lot of school because I was always in and out of surgery. And
what's that for, Sean? Is that
part of my condition? So, I should explain a bit about my condition, shouldn't I? So, my condition is called Ellis-Van-Creveld syndrome, which is obviously a form of dwarfism. But mine's really rare. So, that when I was born, there was only 8 known cases in the world. And 50% of people with my condition die at infant age. It's like up to 5. But I was not well as a kid, but I was never life-threatening as a kid.
Yeah.
So that was quite hard. Like, my mum used to do me dirty. She used to always try and make me get operations in the summer holidays so I didn't miss school. So I was
let's have one advantage of being, you know what I mean?
Obviously, all the time. I never always ended like that. But then used to get the nurses who make you do schoolwork in hospital and that. It was horrible.
Oh my God. So ever since you can remember, were you getting operations?
Yeah, like that was, but it wasn't like, it was just part of my life. So like, it's weird to talk about it now because like I was just like, yeah, operation. See you in a few months, guys, and then I'll come back. And then so when I was a baby, I had loads that I don't remember. And then every year from like high school, I can remember being having some sort of surgery on my legs, on my hip, on my back.
Is it just because as you grew older and you grew?
Yeah, just my bones are obviously a bit shit, to be fair. So
yeah, I know a girl who's as well, Elaine. And as I think she's in her 50s now, but as she's getting older, like it's starting to affect her and stuff like that with her walking and stuff.
Yeah, so a lot of mine was prevention, they said.
Yeah.
So I didn't feel like that. I was like, I feel fine now, but they could see obviously stuff going on. So yeah, so when I was in school, and I used to always have surgery and stuff like that.
So, I suppose it's important, isn't it, to have good parents who care enough to get this prevention treatment, because a lot of people only do something when there's something wrong. Don't
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Like I said, like my mum and dad both, well, they're not tall, but they're both average height. So, and I think that's actually done me better, to be honest with you, because they're not just like get out there, do it, and didn't let me feel sorry for myself at all. Do you know what I mean? I played out, I did everything. I wasn't wrapped in cotton wool. Do you know what I mean? I went mates' houses when I wanted to, and
So what ages where did you do? What as a kid did you get a chance to do activities? Could you say these? How often were your operations?
every year. There were one every year, but yeah, I'm still doing sports. So I did since I was 12. I did athletics. There's something called the Water Sports Association. I did athletics there. I was quite good, and we went. Someone's like, it wasn't scouting me, but like I used to go to Sheffield every month when I was 12 and train with like this person who coached like 3 or 4 people. And I remember I was 15. I broke the national open age British record
for weightlifting.
For discus.
Did you? Yeah.
And I did it before the Opens compete. So I was watching the Opens compete when I've just broken the guy's British record.
Really?
I was too young to compete with him.
That's unbelievable.
And you're just chilling like that, going.
No, yeah. It was good. Like I used to I love athletics. I loved athletics, and then my back went when I was 24, and I had to have surgery. That was my worst surgery, back surgery. I had Walton Hospital, and then I had more complications. I had to go to Fasakli the next day, have an operation.
So we'll come to that in a minute. But when you were a kid, you just had this desire to want to play sports, and like with having dwarfism, you were like, well, nothing's gonna hold me back. No,
I thought I was gonna make it play for Widnes Vikings and rugby and stuff like that, really, or play for Liverpool and stuff like that.
You never let it hold you back in any way. Just
no. I generally thought I was as good as other kids. I obviously wasn't, but I generally thought I was. And
but that's fantastic because people will think, I've got this disability and blah blah blah. And
I think I tried out for like football teams and all that, basketball team. I was on the basketball B team and everything. in school and that.
Were you a boss little rugby player, mate?
Yeah, and I used to always get high tackled though.
Honestly?
Yeah, I'm not even joking. I hated it.
That'd be fantastic. Boom, there he is, he's gone.
That's what I've noticed though about you, Sean. You don't just get by in life, you excel at anything that you do,
That's
don't
what
you?
I mean,
I tried to, yeah. But like you say, I think that's from having like a good group of lads as mates from an early age, and my mum and my sister and my dad and all that, just like saying, go for it. If you want to try it, try it. Do you know what I mean?
So did you try loads of different sports before you really settled on the one?
Yeah, so I did like everything in athletics, and then in discus I just threw it fairly far. And then, so this guy's like, come and train with us once a month in Sheffield. I don't even know his name now.
How old were you at this point?
12, okay. 11, 12. And then I started training at Wavertree, then till like, I don't know, like 18, maybe 16, 18.
Yeah.
Then I moved to find another, then I moved to coach and stuff like that.
It wasn't Jimmy Savile, was it?
No, not Jimmy Savile. I have met Jimmy Savile. No, that's not even a joke, but that's a story for another time.
No, it's not.
And that's not even a lie. I met Jimmy Savile. I'm all right, no, guys. I'm all right.
You okay?
Yeah, I'm all right.
How do you feel?
I'm all right.
Clickbait, what did Jimmy Savile do to you? Sorry,
I don't think I was his type, to be fair.
What I tell us?
When I met Jimmy Savile?
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm allowed.
Do what you fucking like.
He's dead, isn't he?
Yeah, but I don't know, like, I'm not going to tell you where I was then or who I was with. But it was
that makes it even more dodgy, to be honest.
It was at a charity event and it was a swimming gala.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Crumbs.
That's all I'm going to say.
Jimmy.
My mum's going to be so angry of telling this story. It's funny, innit? I don't need it.
Yeah, you met Jimmy Savile. It's just, it's...
I mean,
it's funny, but it's like, no way I met Jimmy Savile.
It was an accomplishment till like a few years ago, wasn't it, to meet him?
Was it?
Is that what he told you?
Sorry,
sure.
That's it. Anyway, moving on. So you were
Throwing discus, yeah, and shot put.
Did you know when you let it go? Did you know that you excelled, or did?
Yeah, I was quite a confident kid in that environment. So obviously school and that, I could never compete. And I used to do, like, you know, cross country, and I used to hate it, being like, oh, Sean, just run half the field. Like, well, I can't even run, so why the point making me run half the field? But in terms of against other people with disabilities and other dwarfs, I was always really confident of excelling.
Did you come into your own when you was?
Yeah, I loved it. I loved, like, even now I love competing and stuff like that. Yeah, I think I'd be lost without competition. I don't know what I would do without sport and stuff like that.
So how many sports had you gone through before you found what you do now?
Like
Weightlifting?
Probably like 2, so athletics and then powerlifting.
So how did you go from the transition to shot put? Was it a natural progression? Is that the normal route, or from the discus? And
I did it both at the same time. I did all 3. Like, I did javelin as well, but I weren't very good at javelin. And I did all 3. Yeah, so shot, discus.
Every 2 minutes, this is another.
I was lucky to bring my kid to school, mate. Never mind. Do you know what I mean?
I know, yeah.
But you settled on
Discus and shot, yeah.
powerlifting.
Well, so I was doing really well at shot because he took discus out of the Paralympics for me. So the only pathway to the Paralympics was shot put. So I put all my effort into shot put, and then my back went my back's knackered anyway, but it went. I needed surgery, yeah. So when I was 23, 24.
Tell us about when your back went. What happened?
So it was my second surgery. But my first one, I got a rod in my spine when I was 16 or 15, 16. And then I got one of my discs slipped and balls, stuff like that, in the middle.
Was this while you were playing a sport?
Just in
the gym. This was actually in the gym.
When I met you, is this in
yeah, so I just met you from my surgery. But, so I was a bit gutted really, because I did do sport, but my surgeon said I could have sneezed and it would have went like, it was ready to go, do you know what I mean? So now I lift weights still. So yeah, it was quite bad really. I've got permanent nerve damage in my right leg now, so that's why I don't do athletics, because I just can't get in positions.
Oh, okay.
And a few other complications that I needed, I had to go for physically. So I've had 3 or 4 surgeries now. 3 surgeries since that main operation.
So because your back went, you'd have to settle with powerlifting?
Well, yes, and then I started powerlifting, and I uploaded a video on Instagram, and one of the coaches said, do you want to come to Loughborough and try and train? I was like, yeah. So now I train with the whole...
What was Loughborough?
Loughborough's that's where all... that's where the whole excellence centre is for
the EIS?
Yeah, so it's like a massive university, but for my sport, that's the EIS basically, yeah. And I went down there and he was like, yeah, you're all right. And then I did the British champs after that, I think. And then, now I've competed internationally twice in 2 years since I've been doing the sport.
So going from the weightlifting, from the shot putting and the discus to the weightlifting,
yeah.
Did you take to that?
Yeah, I think it's not easy, but there's less to think about. In athletics, you got to do your gym work, your technical work, other stuff and all that. Now it's still very technical, but it can all be based in one area. Do you know what I mean? The gym. So that's not easier, but I like it better, to be fair. And it's indoors as well, so no weather conditions can change your result. Where in athletics, that was always an annoying thing. So to be fair, because I was doing some gym work anyway, so I did take to it fairly easier. Easier, is that a word? Easier. Easily.
Talk us through a typical day you're training as a powerlifter.
So I only do bench press only in my...
Is that when you arch your back?
Yeah.
Why did you do that?
Less movement, so less space for the bar to go.
So people arch the back, so it's...
Yeah. But your bum has to be, and your shoulder blades has to be on the bench.
Have you seen that?
Yeah.
But we don't... obviously, my feet don't touch the floor, so we have a longer size bench. We get strapped in.
Right.
So a typical day, I just go to the gym, I bench, I do some variation of bench press, and then do a lot of upper back, back, shoulders, stuff like that, stretching. So
what type of exercises will you do to perfect this sport?
Big lat pull downs, rows for the back, shoulder press, obviously bench press, stuff like that.
You have to do a lot of fitness training to do it as well.
No, but I have to be in a weight category, which I've never. That's another thing that I never had to do before in athletics. No weight category. Now I'm in a weight category, and it's.
So you do a shot put, you can eat what you want, can't you?
Yeah, it's hard. It's obviously Jazz.
Yeah, I didn't know that was a part of it.
Yeah, and my weigh-in's 2 hours before the event.
Is it? So
so I can't
dehydrate nothing, can you?
No, because you're not going to be able to get.
How would you make weight then?
It's basically you have to be
typically.
You have to be in that weight. Like you have to walk around basically in that weight category.
Yeah.
Well, people do drop down, but it mustn't be much. You know what I mean?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Like I'm a kilo over now. I'm panicking now. I'm panicking now. I'm like, oh my god, it's hard work this.
Yeah, because in boxing, the effects of being dehydrated and losing weight, you're losing. You're not only losing, you're getting, you're facing brain damage, aren't you? Because
get punched in the head.
Yeah. Your brain's getting shook all over your cranium. So with your sport, does it have an effect in performance if you are dehydrated?
Yeah, I just think like the normal stuff like tiredness, because we only have 2 hours to rehydrate.
Yep.
You can't rehydrate in 2 hours, can you? Obviously, you know more than me. So yeah, you can't even feed yourself properly in 2 hours. So yeah.
So what are your sources? What's your goal now? What's your plans moving forward in the weightlifting?
So I want to get to Paris 2024 Paralympics. Next year's the Commonwealth Games. I'd love to go to Commonwealth Games. So I've only been to World Championships in athletics. Never went to a major. So I want to get to a major. I've been to like I've competed in a World Cup in powerlifting, which is like the best in the World Cup, but it's not a World Championship, so it's not a Commonwealths or Europeans.
So has this took you around the world? Has it? Have you done?
No, both. I mean, internationally in Manchester.
Oh, really? Yeah.
But between yourselves, you just know that this is the World Championships, this is the Olympics, because you're the best of there.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, but not all the time the best are there. So luckily for me, well, not luckily, like this time I competed. There was like number 4th and 5th in the world competed. Yeah. So you get a gauge of like what you need to lift to be around that level. So I think I'm like just under 15th in the world at the moment. And then hopefully by the end of this year and next year, I'll break into that top 10.
Brilliant. And top
sorry, go on. I keep interrupting.
No, I've got loads of questions. I want to get it out.
So will you compete with other dwarfs, or is it all different people with disabilities?
So in athletics, it was just other dwarfs. In powerlifting, it's all types of disabilities. So it's people who are paralysed, people dwarfism, amputees, stuff like that.
That's interesting.
Yeah, one thing I don't know if it's ignorance on my behalf. I don't know because I just don't know how it works. But who gets the maximum benefit? What disability gets the maximum benefit in your area? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, people will say people with short stature dwarfs because less
extension.
Yeah, extension. Yeah, but I don't know. I think obviously it must equal itself out throughout the whole disability. Do you know what I mean? Like. Yeah. People who I don't know. It equals itself out in my eyes, but but people who are strong, a lot of powerlifters are strong dwarfs in a lighter weight classes, and it probably is because they've got less movement.
I might become one.
How tall are you?
I'm only 5 foot. Well, I'm 5'6", but I tell the birds on Tinder I'm 5'7" just to get them.
Yeah.
I say on a good day.
I just don't tell my height on Tinder. Then jump off the high chair, like that, me.
So when I met you, Sean, one thing I realised is how ignorant I could be.
Yeah.
Because remember we had a conversation.
It's horrible to me, weren't you?
It's horrible to me.
So we had a conversation. You were telling me about like just in general the ignorance where people just don't understand the situation. When you were telling me about dwarfs and midgets,
yeah,
and people just assume it's the same thing and stuff like that.
Yeah. So like I've been called like even mates and that like say like, oh, you midget, stuff like that. Obviously, as banter, like obviously.
Surely midget is the derogative term.
Yeah, horrible.
I would never say midget.
Horrible. And to be fair, like I don't take because I'm one of these people like I've got a sharp tongue. Do you know what I mean? So I don't take it massively offensive, but my family do, and because I know my family would take it offensive, I take it. You know what I mean? So yeah, and people. I think people when they say it as well, they know it. They know it's gonna arm me up and stuff like that. And also people are like, oh, what should I call you then? I'm thinking, but you don't know me, so why do you want to call me anything? Like, just call me. Get to know me first, or ask a proper question. That's the thing. Like, people don't ask. Like, you see people staring and that, like with the kids and that, and then I'd rather just say, like to the kids, like, oh, why don't you just ask a question. I'd rather talk to a kid.
This woman I know, Elaine, who's a dwarf, she so my little girl walks in the shop and like Elaine's there, blah blah blah, and my little girl, she was only 4 at the time, she's like, why is that woman so small? And I seen Elaine's little, it broke her heart a bit. Now I can see a difference with you. And I went, sorry about that, Elaine. She went, it's all right, don't worry about it. She said, it's kids, John. She's petrified of kids.
Oh, I hate them. I hate kids.
Because they'll just say it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Not hate kids. I don't hate kids.
No.
I hate kids. I've got 3 of them. I'm surprised.
Not like 4 or 5 year olds or like, if they say that I can, like, the babies aren't like really. Like teenagers are the worst. Like they just want to cause shit, don't they? Do you know
what does my head in, right? I've said this to you and I noticed it the other day. And you might get this as well. So if someone's racist, you get arrested. If someone's homophobic, you get arrested. But on social media, it's widely accepted to skit dwarfs.
Yeah.
And it pisses me off a bit.
We're like the joke. It's horrible to say we're the joke of the disabilities.
Is that okay, like?
I don't know. People grew up with like Snow White and dwarfs stuff like that, didn't they? I think so. I don't know. I just think
you must see it a lot.
Oh yeah, all the time. Like, and people like even like it changes what people think they can say and stuff when you don't know you. Do you know what I mean? I don't know. I just think we're the butt of the jokes in the disability world.
Yeah, but you wouldn't skip people with other disabilities.
No, that's what I'm saying. No.
So when I seen Elaine that day, and I could see it in her face, it was. I think if I was a dwarf, I'd probably just embrace it and go, "And what? I'm a dwarf. So what?" Do you know what I mean? And I think it would, but I think some people might still. Maybe it was like a childhood trauma getting the shit. But it's like I seen it, she was upset. It's like my little girl had said she didn't mean it.
Yeah, I only 4. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but I seen that it upset her. So if you're a dwarf and you watch these videos on social media where people are like, do you know what I mean? You've seen the ones where they throw it like the little drop and stuff like that.
Yeah, they're quite funny. To be fair, though.
I know, but you embrace it. You're like sound.
Yeah.
It's going to affect people.
Oh, 100%. Yeah,
I think it's as bad as being racist or homophobic. I really do.
Yeah,
discrimination.
No, yeah.
I think
you must get it, Jazz. I'll tell you.
Look at my nose. You know what I mean? Nosist people everywhere. Nosist. It's just it's quite bad to be honest. But I don't mean to make it about the dwarfism, but I think it's someone like yourself, it can bring great awareness, can't it?
Yeah,
people can listen.
I hope so.
Do
you know what I mean? Like, and like you say, like I think it's not like the world now is all social media as well, so people can get away with saying whatever they want and doing videos whatever they want, and so it's only getting worse for dwarfs in really.
Yeah, because people can hide behind the
exactly.
profiles,
but I think I don't want to say it, but like people like you say embrace it, like more of a mental toughness. Like okay, well I am like this and. Like, you can't get me down with a video or whatever, but it does get annoying. Like, people film me, so I don't really get anymore or don't notice it anymore. But people, like, I've walked around the Trafford Centre when I'm there or Liverpool One and just filming me or taking pictures.
Really,
like, grown adults. I'm thinking, what you doing? And then...
Maybe it's the rarity thing, like you're saying.
But I hate not confrontation, but I hate, like... confronting someone about doing that because it's embarrassing them because then you look like you look like the angry person, like the angry dwarf. Look at him.
Yeah, that's great footage, that, isn't it?
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, but it is though, isn't it? Yeah, like the Wellstone Raider, like people giving him abuse, and he snapped, and then he was the butt of the joke type of thing.
Made some money off that though, hasn't he?
Should we set one?
Made £500 off me. I got him up to Liverpool to film. And we had the boss weekend, but that's another story. But what else was I going to say?
Aren't we still waiting for the podcast on him?
Yeah, we are, yeah.
Aren't we still...
Was that John? I left my phone in the office in work. And, I forgot. Sorry, John. He's all right.
We've turned on him now, though, haven't we? That's what we do. When we don't get our own way, we turn on you.
Oh, yeah, we've become abusive, yeah.
I'll fight him, you on podcast war. I'll fight him.
What was I going to say?
The World Championships, tell us about what it was like, your experience and going into it, what you like, where were you going into it and what was like coming out of it? Yeah,
so World Cup is not World Championship.
Tell us it all.
World Cup. First time I got called up, I was really buzzing. Do you know what I mean? Because I stopped doing the sport and then I tried another sport and now it's like recognition. And everyone come to watch me. Like, it was only in Manchester, so obviously it was quite local compared to like some of the other athletes who were from down south or whatever. So I had like 30, 40 people there like cheering me on. And because it was indoors, it was amazing. I loved it. Get to wear like the GB stuff again. hang around with other athletes from all over the world again. Like it's class, isn't it? You've done it on the GB World, haven't you?
We're doing it now. This is
exactly
because we are. I mean, that's what we get other people's perspective. It's great, isn't it?
Yeah, it's class. And the second time was a bit different because it's pandemic. We were quarantined to our rooms. We had to go down, get our food, and go back up. We could only go downstairs for fresh air.
Oh,
so one of the good things that he loved about it was taken away.
Yeah,
the socialising aspect of it all.
Yeah, I'd seen other countries and stuff like that. But this time was a bit different, and no one supported me this time. And it was a bit different, but I did 15k better. So I don't know.
In how long period of time was that?
In a year. So I've done it now for 2 years,
and
just over 2 years. And
you got 15 kilograms.
Yeah. So my first competition, I got 112 in kilograms, and this one I've done 130.
Wow. So, yeah. Something like that, isn't it?
Means nothing to me, though.
You're joking, man?
No. Do everything in pounds.
Well, no. so body weight. How many times are you doubling
just
your
over
body?
double, yeah. So I'm 59. I weigh in the 59k category. So the last one I weighed 57.5. And I think that was a bit too light, to be fair. I want to try and get like in the 58s.
Wow.
And compete, yeah.
Get on a slick diet.
So what do you weigh, Jazz, when you weigh in?
57 kilo.
Yeah, so I need to lose some weight, man. Heavier than you.
57 kilo.
What's that in pounds?
126.
Oh, 126.
I wish Alexa was here so I could ask her.
You don't need it. Jazz just done.
We've got Chase.
No, we're being stoned.
We've got Chase. Shout. Chase.
I know, yeah, Chase is out of Alexa.
What is 57 kilogram in pounds, Chase?
Oh, it's good.
As an American, I do not know the metric system.
There you go.
Right? Sam Jackson in Pulp Fiction.
My man. My man. Yeah, I watched American Gangster last night. Sorry, I'm just changing the subject.
Because we're on Chase.
Yeah. Chase is from Harlem.
Oh.
Yo, what's up, dog? You know that. Hey.
Good at accents, aren't you?
Yeah.
Quite good at accents.
Thank you very much. I like to think so.
Where did we go then?
I don't know. I'm going to fish as well.
You got a dead fish.
Oh, God.
That story then, but we were halfway through
the pandemic, when the world championships, the pandemic. So yeah, it's a bit different. Like no one was there in that, but yeah, did it feel like the same energy? Do you know what I mean? But
Shoot live on that.
Yeah, I loved it. First time I've ever done that.
Sorry about him, Sean.
Is that you, Jazz?
No, it's Chase.
I wouldn't be that unprofessional.
Look at him fuming. My man. Anyway, moving on.
That story. No, let's go back.
So you fought with no crowds, didn't you?
Yeah.
What did you feel like?
Nothing.
Feel like a spar?
Fight to fight, innit?
Oh yeah.
You said that, didn't you? You're more internal. It doesn't affect you, does
But
it?
to be fair, no one's trying to take my head off. Do you know what I mean? So you have to be like that, don't you, in the fight?
Yeah, I suppose. But I think like if, I've seen other fighters who've lost, who've never lost. Like to Josh Wellington.
Yeah.
He would say money that he needs the crowd.
Yeah.
But it only seems like the people who lose
What did I say about the crowd?
say the crowd.
Yeah. So I come 8th, so the crowd was shit.
Yeah.
Would that have spared you on?
No, to be fair, I got a big PB, and I think on the day that was what I was capable of. So I don't think so. No.
You just love the experience, the whole
like
and the package.
Yeah, because in athletics, obviously, like everyone's all around in the wind and stuff like that, so you can't really hear anyone. Like this time, it was all enclosed space, and first time I've ever heard people like shout for me and stuff like that in a weird way. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, because you're tunnel visions, aren't you?
Yeah, and I loved it. And then when you start your lift, everything goes dead quiet.
Yeah.
I just,
So to get it like to up your personal best 10% in a year,
yeah.
is that what they call about? They say that you get gains, don't they, in the first year of doing something? Is that
Yeah.
true?
I think so, yeah. So obviously, the only way to get better at something is to do it, isn't it? So like I bench press or variation of bench press 3 times a week for a whole year. Like I don't really have a week off enough. I have deload weeks and stuff like that, but I don't really stop training. So yeah, I just think to get better at something, you just keep having to do it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I do the bench because I get told to by my strength and condition coach. But
He was on my podcast, by the way.
was he Carl Evans?
Oh no, he was the one he did at Liverpool with.
Carl Evans?
No, the young lad.
Conor Heaney?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Conor Heaney. Shout out Conor Heaney and Carl Evans and Sean Clare and Chase
And Isaac Daglish.
and our Katie who comes down from London. So if you're gonna work on your chest, you're saying that you're working on your back and stuff like that.
Yeah.
When you're going into it, I would never expect that you'd have to work other muscles rather than the muscle you're trying to use. So do you have to work on all the surrounds of muscles to improve the
Yeah, because it's an imbalance now as well, isn't it? And also, when I bench press, I engage my back quite a lot. Like, I come up like that.
They're all secondary in that movement, I suppose, aren't they?
Yeah. So, yes. And shoulders just to, like, obviously, like, you're holding the ball out and stuff like that. So my bench press is not just like an up and down movement. It's quite strict on the commands.
Do you have to then balance everything else out in your body for the whole mechanics of it all?
What do you mean? Sorry?
So you're doing your chest, so you're building your chest, you're building your back.
Yeah.
So you're gonna have a massive back and a massive chest. You're gonna do your shoulders and so you're gonna do everything.
Everything, yeah. Obviously, the main movement's bench press, but then like everything around it. I do more back than chest exercises.
Do you, yeah? And you work on the chest?
Yeah.
That's amazing. You would never expect that,
would
would you?
Your back stays away there when you do that, don't you?
So you know when you're working on...
Do your shoulders as well?
I don't know if you're allowed to say this because you'd be giving you the secrets away. I don't know, but what did Jim and Savile do to you? So do you know if you're working on your point of contact, where you're saying you're raising your back, you're arching your back, and you're working on your point of contact?
Yeah.
Does that play a part in it? Is that?
Yeah, 100%. But that's more like technical, isn't it? Like to try and keep it up for as long as throughout the movement of the bench press. But obviously, when you doing all the other exercises for your back, that helps engage it in that one specific movement. So you do everything for one specific movement.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. Just loads of different
all the little things help that one.
So your back's holding the weight really at first, isn't it?
Mm.
And then your chest is pushing it out.
Yeah.
Would you ever become like a dwarf bodybuilder later on? You thought about it?
I can't diet, mate.
No.
Love chocolate. Hard work, them bodybuilders, isn't it?
Diet-wise, I think diet's the hardest thing of all. I struggle with the diet more than I do training. Do you?
Well, I have doing that. Now I've got more muscle, yeah.
And if you think about it, it's the easiest thing not to put food in your mouth, isn't it? Because
Yeah,
you're just not doing it.
Yeah, but
it's hard,
imagine how many calories you burn. It like you want to. My problem is I want to eat to bench. Like I want to feel good when I bench, so I want to eat well to train.
Yeah. Where's the balance then? Because you're obviously going to put more muscle on over time.
Yeah.
And you're also going to stay in the same weight class, aren't you?
Yeah. It's just managing my food a bit better. Like probably trying to eat more protein and carbs, like standard stuff in it. But like,
yeah. Do you wear a watch?
I do when I'm losing weight. If you see me wearing this, I'm trying to lose weight.
Calories.
Yeah.
Check them every 4 minutes.
Yeah.
What will you burn in a day if you're training?
On this watch, about 650, 700, something like that.
Do you? Yeah.
How much do you do? You must burn 1,000, Jim.
Well, I can run on Everton Hills for an hour and that's what I'll burn.
Yeah, but that's mine's for the whole day.
Yeah, but you think about it, that's cardiovascular, isn't it? You're going to burn more calories doing that, but...
That's how you know how many calories you burn a day?
Yeah. Active. It's quite good this week. Active calories, yeah.
Very accurate because I've gone on the resting metabolic rate machine, the RMR machine, and the calories.
Really?
Even out, yeah.
Didn't you get that watch with a Samsung phone?
Yeah.
I remember that, yeah. You got an Apple Watch.
Made up with me watch. Gets me watch, takes out the box. Yes, I'm going to link it up to my phone. I've got this watch and said, you need an iPhone.
Obviously, it's an Apple Watch.
Go back to town, get an iPhone.
Samsung's well the best. So tell us about this road to the Olympics then.
So because powerlifting is quite not known, but and doping happens a lot in weightlifting sports.
Yeah.
So we have to be in a pool for like testing pool for 4 years, I think. So even if I was good enough this year, I'm still not eligible to go to Tokyo because I've not done the sport long enough.
Okay.
Where are you 2 years into that?
Yeah, now I am, yeah. I have to go to like majors. You can't just be like 4 British champs and then go. You have to go to like a Worlds, a Commonwealths, Europeans or whatever, a World Cup like I went to.
So you might be going to Commonwealth?
Yeah, hopefully, yeah. For Wales. I've said it. Speaking it into existence for Wales.
Tell us about this.
So,
will you be? So if you go to the Olympic, it was GB.
GB, yeah. So my nan was born in Wales, so I'm eligible to go for Wales.
Dalal Chestnut.
And because you might know this coming from the amateur system, only so many can go for England, and quite a few of us are qualifying at the moment. So, it's not easier, but like
is it one space per
country? You gotta do.
2 spaces per country.
Yeah, and these people have had funds and put into them for the last so many years anyway, so it's unlikely that they're going to get pulls it out for somebody to go in, unless he actually smashes the record.
Yeah.
It's going to be hard.
And in powerlifting, there's only 2 weight classes in Commonwealth. It's under 77k and over, I think 77, and over 77. So everyone who's maybe a little bit lighter than me or a bit heavier than me, we're all competing for the same spaces.
So, what are you
tough competition?
59, me, yeah.
So your plan is to also go to these major competitions and also gain mass over the few years?
No, I want to stay at 50. I want to stay at 59 because you go through those more weights to bigger lads.
Oh, but what about the Olympics? Isn't the only space to go at that weight?
Yeah, So Commonwealth, there's only 2 spaces, but that's for everyone under 77k.
I see.
For the Paralympics, it'll be 1 spot per weight class.
So can you get a percentage-wise on what... Oh, is that how it works?
It's like a point system, I think. I don't really know too much because I've not been in the sport that long enough. I don't know 100% about it, but it goes like a point system. But at the moment, I think I don't know. But I could qualify for the Commonwealth. I've got a good chance to qualify for the Commonwealths, but I'd probably have to go for Wales.
So if you lift the same weight as somebody who's
lighter than me,
10 kilo heavier than you,
or heavier than me, yeah, I would be above him in the rankings before the Commonwealth Games, yeah.
I see, yeah. So there's probably loads that I don't know, not.
Yeah. No, but like,
everything I don't know about it, right? So,
but very rarely now, like the level I'm at, like someone above me would be doing the same weight as me. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Are you on track, you feel?
Yeah. I feel like I've gone part-time in work and everything to try and do this, so I'm skint this year, so I'm trying to get to it.
Tell us about your work. This is your
Valhalla. Shout out to Valhalla.
Shout out Valhalla.
I work in the Jazz's bin.
In Wigan.
Big Flecky, yeah.
I've seen this place before.
Ashley in Makerfield. You can get these tops, everyone, on the website, VSF.
Shout out VSF website.
So glad.
So what are you doing there?
So I work behind... You tax man, yeah.
No, he's watching.
I work behind the desk.
You come in with the top on
the floor. I'm a volunteer. I'm a volunteer, and I work behind the desk sometimes. And
just pop in and say hello.
Yeah, just say hello. I'm volunteering. But I try to personal train people with. So I personal train people with disabilities. So I personal train a few dwarfs and that.
I was going to get onto that about your personal training.
Yeah, that's what I try to do. But obviously now I'm trying to compete full time. I've just tired all the time. Do you know what I mean?
The struggle is real. The struggle, especially when you're saying there, you're struggling financially because you can't give your time to anything else. You can't go to work because this is your work, but you're not getting paid for the work that you do.
Exactly.
It's your passion.
So hopefully next year I get some funding off the sport.
Yep.
That's what my goal is for next year.
Do you find like a lot of people with disabilities find more comfortable going to you because you can relate to you more?
Well, I thought that's why I did it originally. Yeah, so I think so. Yeah, and even if I just eventually get them into like that gym environment without me there, like that's what I want to achieve eventually. Do you know what I mean? Because to be fair, the gym I go to, obviously, they're used to me being there. All the lads and that, they're just not bothered now. So there's another dwarf lad who trains there. He comes in now. He's like, oh, yeah. I was like, all right, Mark. You're like, do you know what I mean? They're not bothered now because...
Yeah, you've opened the door for him.
I'd like to think so, yeah. Do you know what I mean? But...
These people already have the awareness, don't they?
Yeah, exactly. Like, you know, like if he needs a hand with anything...
Yeah.
Because gyms aren't made for people with dwarfism. I need help in a lot of things to do and stuff like that.
Yeah. You train at home now as well, don't you?
Yeah, so... because I work there, or volunteer there, because I work there...
I don't have a cut this out.
It was so hard to do both. Do you know what I mean? So, like, because I was going to work early and trying to train, and people like associate me working there, so like talking to me or whatever. I'm just like, I just want to get the session done.
Yes, it's hard,
in the nicest possible way. Do you know what I mean?
And it's hard because you then become cunt, don't you? Yeah. For
either like,
pardon me language, because I know there's a lot of kids who be watching this who look up to you and stuff like that, but. You become the bad guy, don't you, for saying, just leave me alone?
Or you just don't finish your session properly, or you miss stuff out.
Do you find that, Sean, a lot of people approach you?
Yeah, in work, yeah, because like, they're like, oh, Sean, not seen it, or like, can you get me this?
Yeah.
And I'm like, I've come in early to train and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But they're just being nice, do you know what I mean? They're being lovely and that. And I'm like, I can't shut up sometimes. So I'm chatting to them and I miss stuff out. So now I bought some stuff now for home. and do it between the two. And it's working at the moment really well.
I'm like that in my gym. There's certain lads that come in, you go when you do your session, and then they're just talking. I could be there for an hour and a half, and they've just spoke to everyone around the gym. You think, are you even fucking training?
No, people blame me for that. People are like, pretty hell, Sean, I don't get nothing doing your
But then they get off. They get off. And I think a lot of people just go to the gym to socialise.
What do you do? When's the gym? There's the monster.
Yeah.
Drank a monster and talked to people and went home. That's it, their day. But your day is based on performance.
Yeah.
I've had to change gyms myself, Sean. I've gone to a gym where a secret location. Voluntarily, obviously. And so I have to do the same thing because I don't want to be rude and arrogant to people because you're the bad guy, but you've got to do your work. Sometimes I'm in the bag and people are talking to me and I'm thinking, are you going to feed my kids if I lose? You know what I mean?
And I've got to film like all my session and that. I sent it to like the coaches.
Yep.
Like people are just like walking away sometimes and like, or like, oh, what are you doing? Why are you filming that? Like question me like, well, because I got to send. Do you know what I mean? It was like, just leave me alone for 5 minutes and I'll talk to you after I've done this.
And they're not doing nothing wrong, are they?
No, just being nice and like I feel bad saying this because they're all my real good mates as well. Like in that it's such a family run gym and like they're all my real, I go out with them for food or whatever. Like they're all my good mates. Yeah. But I can't train them.
Should get t-shirts made, don't talk to me.
I know, yeah.
Well, I'm saying.
But I'm the one talking. To be fair, I think it's me. I think I'm the one talking.
Yeah. Don't reply to me while I'm saying it. So people going through this the same as you, Sean. Somebody who wants to do what you're doing, explain to them what they're going to have to face. Do you know what I mean? Because it's not easy, is it? You know.
What do you mean? So like, is what do like?
So it's hard, isn't it? It's not easy. Success isn't easy.
Oh no, there's more. I don't think I've had a good day in the sport. Yeah, do you know what I mean? Like there's so many bad days, but it's worth it for when you get that email saying you've been selected, or in my head, it's going to be like they say the destination's better than when you get there. The journey's better than the destination, don't they? Yeah. But we'll see about that when I get to the Paralympics. Do you know what I mean? Because that's all I want to do now. Get to the Paralympic Games. I've been trying since I was 12 years old.
Yeah, well, I speak to this a lot. People who've already achieved the goals, and I ask them, I say, what's it like? And they say, well, once you've achieved it, it's then what? So when I fight, I don't mean to carry on about me. I'm just like trying to show people what it's like. When I fight, I don't go to sleep that night because I know as soon as I go to sleep, that means tomorrow I'm going to wake up and it's over.
Yeah.
I just do not sleep that night. Do you know what I mean? I try and stay up as long as I can.
Yeah, people go, what's next? Like, well, just let me have this victory now. Like, what's next?
Well, you learn. I was on a men's physique competition and I put everything into it. And it was great. Brilliant. One of the best days of my life. And after it finished, it was an 8-month process, diet, everything perfect. I got severely depressed.
Yeah.
Like the most depressed I've ever been in my life.
I think that's a thing. Like, Olympic blues, they call it. I think that's a real thing. Like people who go to the Olympics and that, like, because it's like a massive event. As soon as it finishes, like, what is it? Now? Some people retire, or some people it's 4-year cycle. That's the next one.
I think you've got to have your next thing in place.
They call it like mountains and valleys, don't they? So like the only way after a peak of a mountain, the only way is down, isn't it?
Yeah.
You've got to have your next thing. Because I know I'm talking about me, but I've got these live shows in October and I'm putting so much effort into them. So when they're over, I'm going to be like, and I'm conscious I can get depressed then. Yeah. So I've got something else in plan for next year now. Yeah. But I've learned that the hard way. Just to answer the question you asked then.
No, it's true though, isn't it? It's true. Like, it's not just for sports. I suppose it's for like everything in life, isn't it? Like you've always got to have some.
I think that you learn that the hard way, don't you? It's
a grind, isn't it? Tell us what about your day. Well, we did actually before, but I think we started off with
so now
that fish or something.
Now I'm part-time. I have a lot of, like, not free time, but I train either in the gym. So I do all my accessory stuff in the gym, like, back and shoulders. And sometimes I bench, like Scott helps me out with benching, so shout out to Scott. Or not, I have to wait. My dad works and gets in late. I have to wait for my dad to get into the train with him. But, like, can't complain. Do you know what I mean? He's doing a massive favour for me. And I enjoyed, to be fair, because lockdown, obviously gym's shut, so I got all the equipment from the gym. Like, they lent it, made Vala. And I enjoyed working, like, me and my dad, because obviously your dad just wants, like, he's your family and he wants the best for you. So, like, that's another thing why I train at home, because, like, he's there, he loads all the plates. I don't do nothing, I just have to do my set.
He is a massive support there.
Since I was my mum and dad travelled all over the world and all over the country to watch me compete and to make sure I get the best I can do. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, brilliant.
Shout out mum and dad.
Shout out Jane and James.
Sometimes the things happen by accident, don't they? So like you're saying, that we went into lockdown, so then you had to do that at home with your dad. Sometimes great things come by accident, don't they?
Yeah, definitely. Cause I feel like I improved a lot. Like, obviously, feel like quite bad because no one could train in lockdown. I was just getting stronger and stronger. Do you know what I mean? But I feel like I improved so much just doing bench press with my dad. So then I did my competition and I thought, you know what, I need to make a decision now. Like, do we want to do full-time work and not train as hard as I can, or try and drop my days and buy stuff at home? So like, it's cost me a few grand to get everything at home. Do you know what I mean? Not cheap weights and that, to get everything at home and give it all my chance. I thought, you know what, I might as well. I'm getting older, 27 now. Do you know what I mean? Like, if I don't get to Paris, then that's probably it for me, to be honest with you. Because I probably would be fed up by then.
What do you think, once you've achieved this goal going to the Paralympics, what could you see yourself doing in the future?
That's a good question. I want to help. Like, I generally want to help people like with disabilities, stuff like that. I don't know what sort of doing though, like maybe in the gym environment or something else. Or I wish I could go back to uni and do like occupational therapy and stuff like that. Like, do you know what I mean? Because I've been in hostels all my life. I'd love to like work. I wouldn't be good with blood and that, but like, do you know what I mean? Want to help people like who've had major surgery or like get back on their feet or deal with what they're dealing with. I'd love to do that in the future.
That's probably inspire.
If you still do now, but you're very inspirational. Yeah. I don't know if you still do it now, but you're talking to me about the community that you're in.
Yeah.
The dwarf community.
Yeah.
Would you be having news there? And tell us about the dwarf community. But
so I know, to be fair, I'm quite lucky. So I grew up with like a good group of lads who have dwarfism as well. And we've been friends for like all our lives really. And I don't know, like I feel very like we all like just chat the lads. You know what I mean? Like take the piss out of each other, and like we don't let. If you see us out, you think obviously we're smaller, but we think we're just a group of lads. You know what I mean? That's what I like about it. But yeah, so I obviously I know Isaac. We do a podcast with Isaac. Small talk.
Isaac.
Yeah, and he's hard working, Isaac. But he's like one of my best mates now, and he does sport as well. So I just like. Yeah, but like I'm quite lucky really because I've got dwarf friends, like school friends, gym friends, now powerlifting friends, athletics friends. Do you know what I mean? Like I'm quite lucky me that my life has got a good circle of friends around me.
I suppose that's you, though, innit? These are all.
Oh yeah, they probably think I'm a dick. They might think I'm a dickhead, but I think they're my friends.
So you and Isaac, you just get on, don't you?
Yeah.
How did that relationship come about? For anyone who doesn't know Isaac Dalglish is great British badminton player, isn't
he? And we do a small talk podcast, which Jazz has been on. Yeah. So he actually met him at a talent. Well, I knew him when he was a kid, but not properly. And then there's like a talent ID day where like if you've got disability, like you can try different sports and that. And he tried athletics, and I was the person showing. Like the young lad showing him how to do athletics. Well, my coach was Shelley, but I was the one like demonstrating. And we're just like got hit off from that. And I'm from Winners, he's from Wiggins, not that far.
Yeah. Is it important for you to, if you're going to achieve what you want to achieve, to also know somebody who is successful, not just in life and getting through challenges, but in sports as well?
Yeah, I think it's quite, me and Isaac are quite lucky because we both want to get to Paris together, do you know what I mean? Well, not together, but individually.
Yeah.
But like, I think that it's quite nice to have that person outside your sport doing a different avenue that you can still text and like get support off or give him support sometimes.
Someone to bounce off and relate to, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's what I was saying about, saying you got your group of friends who are dwarfs. It must be good to go into that little unit, you know what I mean? You just can all reflect and compare, like, growing up with this disability and, just,
I
lucky to have that.
You look at, like, famous people who get together over the years and you think, is that just an ego thing? But then you see Mike Tyson and Tupac together. You know what I mean? You think, what's that? But then you, on like, they must, on a level, both be out in the open where no one understands this level of fame, and that's what they connect on and stuff like that. Must do you have that type of... I
think so, yeah. Maybe, I mean, I don't think we compare ourselves to Tyson and Tupac. But I'll be Tyson. But no, definitely, yeah. I think that's... Not just because we're dwarfs as well, because we're sportsmen as well. I think that's what me and I actually get. And we're just lads. Like, I think I'm quite lucky that he's come into my life, but I'm friends with him. Like, do you know what I mean? Even if I was tall and I met him, I think we'd be friends still. Yeah. But obviously we're both dwarfs, so it helps, do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Good, the podcast. Tell us about the podcast.
Small talk, yeah. Jazz was our first guest.
Was it your first episode?
First ever episode, yeah. We took a bit of hiatus at the moment. I don't know when we'll be back. It's been in lockdown. We had all the free time, didn't we? And now, like, he's just competing in Spain. I've been competing in Manchester. Like, it's just been hard to link up and that. So, I think we will be back, but because it's a good concept, I think.
Oh, wait, the only episode was it?
Yeah, that's no. I think we had quite a few good guests. To be fair, I don't know what we've done. We had a Christmas special. Christmas special that come out like January the 2nd.
Yeah, we had a Christmas special in May, didn't we? Lee Butler came on, the Christmas tree in the background, everything. Shout out Chase.
Keep that Christmas spirit alive.
Yeah. So tell us, future. What is the plans? Your goals over the next few years?
Birmingham. Oh no! So at the end of the year, World Championships. Hopefully, touch one. Birmingham 2020 Commonwealth Games. And I've done, and then it might be a Europeans in there somewhere, and then Paris 2024. That's what I want.
What's your goal on what you see yourself lifting? Maximum?
I'd have to lift to go to. You have to be top 8 in the world to go to Paralympic Games, and only one from each country can have someone represent them in that weight class. So, 170, something like that, and you probably need a bench. Wow. So I think hopefully by the end of the year I'll get to like 145, 150, and then I've got 3 years and then to put 30, 20k on there.
Brilliant. Do you factor in the fact that your gains are going to slow down over time?
Yeah, I think so. But I think because I'm so new to the sport still, I think I've still got a big jump in me.
Yeah,
and that's what I hope. That's what I'm hoping for. I've still got a big jump in me.
Yeah.
And then as you get wiser about the sport, like you can manage it better, and then how to get that 1%.
Yeah,
because that's what it's about. Isn't it? When you get to the top, is that how you gonna get that 1%?
Yeah. Little percentages, isn't it? Yeah. I always find that myself. How can I get 1%? I don't look for big gains anymore because they just don't exist.
No, it's not.
You're fighting for at the top, but
the British cycling teams on that, they're famous for, aren't they?
The coach who came in,
he added the 1%, and it's just 1% to every aspect, and then he smashed it.
Yeah,
which doesn't sound a lot, does it? It's just
no. So like my coach does all my programming, and it's a monthly program, and you can tell like he's doing the same, like just tiny bit of improvements.
Is this Fleck?
No. So I at GB do all my coaching now. Fleck did used to do my coaching. And now it's just that tiny 1%, and you don't realise till like it's competition day, and he's like, "Well, you've done this now." Do you know what I mean? I'm like, "Oh yeah, you're right."
Yeah. Is it hard to compete? No, you're talking about the illegal substances in the sport.
Yeah.
Does it happen? Do you think?
Allegedly, I think it happens quite a bit. Yeah. To be fair, I don't know. But some people just think, "Bloody hell!" Like big. Like I was in a weighing room the other month. And these lads, massive, like the same weight as people, look massive. I don't know if it's just in my mind. Yeah. But yeah, obviously weightlifting and powerlifting have got it's well known for people to take substances and that.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I wouldn't want to say because you can't accuse people, can you? You know yourself in sport. You can't just go around saying, "Oh, well, I think he's doing it. I think he's doing it."
Yeah. And then there's a grey area, isn't it? Because of medical exemption.
What's it called? TUI. Something like that.
I'm not too sure, but you can get medical exemption due to the fact that disabilities need medication sometimes. Stuff like that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That is a fact. Is that?
No, that's true. That's true.
Am I just making this
no,
up?
but it's not just sense though, doesn't it? It's just
there's not just disabilities like asthma and loads of medical conditions.
You could get away with murder.
Exactly.
Got a mate there, you know.
Not me. Whoa. The tax man's coming for me. Ward is coming for me. You've ruined my life, this podcast. Delete it, Chess. Delete it.
Oh, brilliant. Yes. Before we wrap it up, Sean, where can we find you on your platforms and what's going on?
Plug myself.
Plug yourself.
Sean Clare 9 on Instagram and SC Powerlifting. I've got two accounts, big time now, and SC Powerlifting. That's on Instagram, yeah. On Small Talk
podcast.
Small Talk, that's nice, yeah.
That's it.
Thank you very much.
It was a pleasure to meet you, Sean. Thanks for coming.
Thank you. You hit my car on the way in, do you remember that?
Whatever.
And I was in the back.
It's his car. Getting him accused of being
my
on
neck. My neck.
The fellow Friday. My neck, my back. My neck and my back.
Brilliant. Thank you very much for coming, Sean.
Thank you, Sean.
Thank you.
Next time on the How Are We Famalam podcast, we'll be speaking to Chase Johnson.
You're a perfect combination, the two of you.
Oh, nice one, Chase.
I know.
First time he's ever said anything nice to you, little ass licker. Honestly, God.
I be licking, bro.